back with another crop progress video. We are in Seneca Falls, New York, which is in the Finger Lakes region of New York State. We've had a very wet spring. This corn was planted probably the end of May. Normally we plant the beginning of May, end of April. So we're about 3 weeks late. Since it was planted, we've had a pretty good growing degree season. It's been warm with enough rain, so the crop actually looks pretty good for getting such a late start.
I agree 100%. This crop actually looks extremely good. We don't see any tip back abortion, kernel abortion, like we saw in our last video back in Indiana, where we had some drought issues during pollination. I went out and did a yield check. Population is about 34,000 out here, and I'm coming up between 190 and 200 for the yield. And that's I think that's gonna be a pretty good estimation.
That's a pretty good yield for our area.
Is that a pretty good yield?
It is.
So it is starting to dent. So these kernels are set. No way they could abort off or anything because of weather. It actually looks really nice. And this is gonna black layer probably 10, 15 days from now.
Yeah, and I think that should be good. We shouldn't get a frost between now and the 1st of October, hopefully. And we'll get a good black layer and finish the corn.
Yeah,
off.
so let's take a look and see what you got in that hand there. So this is a typical leaf that was out there. And again, seeing a lot of disease out here. We're seeing a gray leaf spot coming on. So I would strongly suggest getting out here and harvesting as soon as possible, even if it was a little wet. If it's under 25, I would get out here and start harvesting.
And that's normally when we start harvesting here in New York. Most guys have dryers, and we mostly dry everything.
Well, that's good. That's good because I really believe standability is going to be an issue this year.
So we moved over here to a bean field on the same farm, and these beans were planted around the end of May in very wet conditions early. The season kind of straightened out after that. So we've had a normal growing year after a wet start. These beans were probably between a 2.0 and a 2.5. Again, like I said, planted at the end of May. Yeah,
so they're a little bit earlier maturity, but they look really good. We are I counted down to the 4th node, and you always look at that node for maturity. The beans are there, but they're not fully expanded yet. So that would put us right at R5. And these beans actually look really nice. There's a touch of disease moving in, a little bit of frog eye, some powdery white mildew that's moving in. But other than that, they look really good. I would have to guess around between a 40 to 50 bushel yield average here in this field.
I'd say that's about right here for New York State. That's pretty average for us. We go anywhere from 40 bushel up to 65, 70 on a really good year in this area of the state.
And even though it's late, you guys did have a really good season.
We had a good season after a late start.
So yeah, I'm very happy with what I'm seeing here, and really all in this area. Really nice. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, reach out to your local grain merchandiser or your ag advisor, and we're here to help you anytime. Thanks.